Hi there. Today we're going to talk about how to rearrange and resize the checkout fields, specifically the address fields, using ThemeHigh Checkout Field Editor. Now, by default, when you enable Checkout Field Editor, it's not going to actually change the address fields. This is a protective setting that we have that makes sure that the address fields don't get unintentionally messed up, because generally we don't recommend messing with the address fields, but for some customers that's something they want to do. So let's talk about how to do it. Now, to have ThemeHigh Checkout Field Editor actually change the address fields, we're going to want to head to WP Admin, CheckoutWC Integrations, and you'll see a checkbox here that says Enable ThemeHigh Checkout Field Editor Address Field Overrides. So let's check that. Let's save the settings, and then let's go back and take a look at our address fields. Now you can see there's some changes here. The first most notable change is that our drop-down select fields are now using select to. Now this is something that we generally discourage. If it's something that you want to use, that's fine, but select to can have some usability issues, especially when you're just using the keyboard, and it's really hard to style it nicely. So the first thing we'll do is we'll disable select to on these fields. The way you do that is we'll go to WooCommerce checkout form, and we're on the shipping address fields. So country was one of those fields. So we're going to edit the field. We're going to go to display styles, and then on the input class we're going to type in CFW no select to, and we will save. And then we'll do the same thing on the shipping state field, CFW no select to, and then we'll save. So let's refresh and see where we're at. Okay, so now we have the properly styled select fields, and you'll notice that many of the fields now are 100% wide. This is because the default classes on these fields, the Checkout Field Editor sets, are like classes like form row wide that set the field to 100% width. Now this video is based on a request that we got from a customer that wants their layout to look like this. So we have a full width country, normal, first name and last name, address, apartment, and then city, state, zip code, and then phone. So what we're going to do to achieve this layout is use some classes. Now we have these classes documented in an article called How to Add a Custom Field to CheckoutWC. And if you scroll down in that article, you'll see a section specifically on the ThemeHigh Checkout Field Editor. In that section, there are some classes, and you'll see that the classes indicate a number of columns or a percentage width. So the one that we're going to be using today is call large 4. So let's go back to the editor here, and let's make some changes. The first change we want to make is let's move the country up to the top. And the second change we'll make is let's just disable the company field, because that is not visible on their form. And so the shipping country should be full width now. First name and last name are already 50-50, and that's because if you look at their classes, you'll see form row first and form row last, and those equate to 50% width fields. So the ones we want to change are the city, state, and postcode. So we're going to edit those. We're going to go to display styles, and then in the wrapper class, we're going to replace form row wide with call large 4. We'll save, and then we'll go back and we will do the same thing on call large 4 for the state, and then we'll do it one more time for call large 4 on the postcode. Now, for some reason, our order got messed up here. I think it's just because I saved in the wrong order. So let's move the country all the way back to the top. and let's save the changes, and let's see what we're looking at. Okay, perfect. So now everything is exactly in the order and arrangement and size that the customer requested. The only thing we're missing is a phone field. Now, because we've taken control of the address fields, we're going to have to add that phone field manually. So we'll call this shipping phone, and I guess we'll make it required. And the default is form row wide. That will work just fine. And now that's at the bottom. Let's just refresh, make sure the phone field was added correctly. And it was. Okay. Now there can be other issues that arise from using this. If we go to the billing fields, you'll notice, well, they have that default arrangement. So let's just go ahead and make the same changes to the billing address. Now the billing email address is already on the form. So what CheckoutWC is going to do is just ignore that field. So we can ignore it too. So let's move the country to the top, save. And then let's go to billing city. And then the wrapper class, we're going to call large 4. We're going to save and close. And then we're going to go to the postcode. We're going to do the same thing. And then we will do the same thing for, let's see, did we get the state? No, we did not. Let's skip the state. All right, so that should be correct. Unless I forgot something. All right, that looks correct to me. So that's just a simple example of how to take control of your fields. One thing I do notice is that I did not disable the company field. So let's just go ahead and do that to show that that works. And there we go. So that's just a quick tutorial on how to customize your address fields using ThemeHigh's Checkout Field Editor plugin. You can use the same techniques generally with any checkout field editor. If you notice on the article, we do have specific instructions for things like the official WooCommerce checkout field editor. In that case, we actually do have special integration. So if you look at the position field, there are more options with that plugin for actually selecting the widths. We are able to extend that drop down to include our widths, but you can always use the classes that we detail down here if you need to. So that's it for today. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions or tips or any feedback. Thanks for watching.